14-year-old freshman Colt Gray opened fire, killing 4 and injuring 9 others.
It was like 10 shots, about a 3-second or 4-second pause, and then like 7 more.
According to investigators, Gray carried an AR-15 style rifle onto a school bus that morning, the barrel sticking out of his backpack wrapped in poster board. 4 people would lose their lives that day: 14-year-old students Mason Schermerhorn and Christian Angelou, 53-year-old math teacher Christina Arimi, and 39-year-old football coach Richard "Ricky" Aspinwall. Colt Gray has been indicted on 55 felony counts, including 25 counts of aggravated assault. He is not the only one facing charges in this tragedy. Colt's father, Colin Gray, faces charges of second-degree murder and involuntary manslaughter. Prosecutors say Colin admitted to buying the rifle that his son used in the mass shooting and did so knowing that the teen was a danger to himself and others. Deputies interviewed the Grays about a year before the shooting, based on FBI tips about alleged threats posted on the online platform Discord.
I don't know anything about him saying like that, and I'm going to be mad as hell if he did. And then all the guns will go away, and they won't be accessible.
His father, Colin, has been granted a change of venue in his case. If he's found guilty of murder, he could face up to 180 years in prison.
True crime just got darker. Catch the full episode on the link above. Subscribe to At Southern Sin today and hit the notification bell for more live original episodes Wednesdays at 8 p.m.
Breaking news, we have a verdict in the case against Colin Gray in the state of Georgia. This is the case of a father accused of basically aiding his son in a high school shooting. 4 people ended up dead in 2024 after Colt Gray showed up at Appalachia High School with a gun that he received from his father, who gave it to his son as a Christmas gift the Christmas prior. And prosecutors say he should have known better. The jury has only been out for an hour and 49 minutes. It's an incredibly short time to deliberate. Let's go to Georgia, to the courtroom, and see what the jury has decided.
Madam Foreperson, my understanding is the jury has reached a verdict. Is that true?
Yes.
So was the verdict unanimous?
Yes.
And have you signed, dated it, and filled in your verdict where applicable?
Yes.
All right, will you hand it to the bailiff? Thank you, sir. And then counsel, if y'all want to approach to inspect the verdict. Any objections to the form or legality of the verdict?
Not from the state, Your Honor.
There you are. Ms. Jones, if you will publish the verdict.
In the Superior Court of Barron County, State of Georgia versus Colin Gray, case number 24-CR-593-P, jury verdict. Count 1, murder in the second degree. We, the jury, find the defendant guilty. Count 2, cruelty to children in the second degree. We, the jury, find the defendant guilty. Count 3, murder in the second degree, we the jury find the defendant guilty. Count 4, cruelty to children in the second degree, we the jury find the defendant guilty. Count 5, involuntary manslaughter, unfaithful act, we the jury find the defendant guilty. Count 6, reckless conduct, we the jury find the defendant guilty. Count 7, involuntary manslaughter, unlawful act, we the jury find the defendant guilty. Count 8, reckless conduct, we the jury find the defendant guilty. Count 10, cruelty to children in the second degree, we the jury find the defendant guilty. Count 11, cruelty to children in the second degree, we the jury find the defendant guilty. Count 12, cruelty to children in the second degree, we the jury find the defendant guilty. Count 13, cruelty to children in the second degree, we the jury find the defendant guilty. Count 14, cruelty to children in the second degree, we the jury find the defendant guilty. Count 15, cruelty to children in the second degree, we the jury find the defendant guilty. Count 16, cruelty to children in the second degree, we the jury find the defendant guilty. Count 17, cruelty to children in the second degree, we the jury find the defendant guilty. Count 18, cruelty to children in the second degree, we the jury find the defendant guilty. Count 19, cruelty to children in the second degree, we the jury find the defendant guilty. Count 20, cruelty to children in the second degree, we the jury find the defendant guilty. Count 22, cruelty to children in the second degree, we the jury find the defendant guilty. Count 23, cruelty to children in the second degree, we the jury find the defendant guilty. Count 24, cruelty to children in the second degree, we the jury find the defendant guilty. Count 25, cruelty to children in the second degree, we the jury find the defendant guilty. Count 26, cruelty to children in the second degree, we the jury find the defendant guilty. Count 27, reckless conduct, we the jury find the defendant guilty. Count 28, reckless conduct, we the jury find the defendant guilty. Count 29, reckless conduct, we the jury find the defendant guilty. This third day of March 2026, signed for person.
Thank you, Mr. Jones. Counsel, do we need the services of the jury or any inquiry with the jury?
Yes, Judge, we'd have support to pull the jury.
All right. And so, ladies and gentlemen, the defense has asked that I poll the jury. What I am going to do is call out a juror number. I'll ask you to stand. I'm going to ask, was it your verdict in the jury room? Was it freely and voluntarily entered by you or made by you? And is this still your verdict? Juror number 2, stand. All right. Ma'am, was this your verdict in the jury room?
Yes.
Was it freely and voluntarily made by you?
Yes.
Is it still your verdict?
Yes.
Thank you. Juror 49. Ma'am, was this your verdict in the jury room?
Yes.
Was it freely and voluntarily made by you?
Yes.
Is it still your verdict? Thank you. Juror 51. Sir, was this your verdict in the jury room?
Yes.
Was it freely and voluntarily made by you?
Yes.
Is it still your verdict?
Yes.
Thank you. Juror 52. Ma'am, was this your verdict in the jury room?
Yes.
Was it freely and voluntarily made by you?
Yes.
Is it still your verdict?
Yes.
Thank you. Juror 63. 63. Yes. Sir, was this your verdict in the jury room?
It was.
Was it freely and voluntarily made by you?
Yes.
Is it still your verdict?
Yes.
Thank you. Juror 71. Ma'am, was this your verdict in the jury room?
Yes.
Was it freely and voluntarily made by you?
Yes.
Is it still your verdict?
Yes.
Thank you. Juror 77. Sir, was this your verdict in the jury room?
Yes.
Was it freely and voluntarily made by you?
Yes.
Is it still your verdict?
Yes.
Thank you. Juror 82. Sir, was this your verdict in the jury room?
Yes.
Was it freely and voluntarily made by you?
Yes.
Is it still your verdict?
Yes.
Thank you. Juror 97. And was this your verdict in the jury room?
Yes.
Was it freely and voluntarily made by you?
Yes.
Is this still your verdict?
Yes.
Thank you. Juror 99. Sir, was this your verdict in the jury room?
Yes.
Was it freely and voluntarily made by you?
Yes.
Is this still your verdict?
Yes.
Thank you. Juror 102. Sir, was this your verdict in the jury room?
Yes.
Was it freely and voluntarily made by you?
Yes.
Is this still your verdict?
Yes.
Thank you. Juror 103. Ma'am, was this your verdict in the jury room?
Yes.
Was it freely and voluntarily made by you?
Yes.
Is this still your verdict?
Yes.
All right, thank you. Any reason why the jury should not be released?
Not for mistake, Your Honor. No, Your Honor.
All right. Ladies and gentlemen, if y'all will, go ahead and just go back to the jury room. I'll come back and address you shortly. Okay. Girls,
Sir.
you can put the alternates back in the seat.
Yes, sir.
Where goes yours? All right, y'all can remain Mr. Gray in custody. Obviously, we're not doing sentencing today. Sentencing will be deferred. Don't hit me yet. I'm sorry. I thought maybe you had custody. All right, so sentencing will be deferred. Probably meet with counsel in chambers if you want to discuss scheduling for sentencing, if that works. We'll go from there. And then you'll go to the sheriff's office in order. Anything else we need to address today?
Before you talk to the jury, do you mind if me and defense counsel purchase quickly?
Yeah.
All right, there it is. Colin Gray, guilty on all charges.
Good morning. Thank y'all for coming. Just tell you straight off the bat, we're very happy with the jury's verdict. The victims are very happy with the jury's verdict, and I'll answer any questions anyone has. Courtney?
What does this mean for the state of Georgia, this guilty verdict, the first time a parent has been charged in connection to a school shooting?
Well, we hope that it moves the needle a little further. I think you saw in this case that the mother actually reviewed what happened in Michigan, which would have been the first one. And she then, as a result of that, asked her husband to remove the weapons. It could have ended this tragedy. So Michigan was able to move the needle to the point that it almost stopped this tragedy. We don't know how many tragedies it did stop. And we hope we've moved the needle a little further.
At what point in this investigation did you decide to charge the father?
It would have been in the first few days. Of course, we learned about the shrine in the house early on, which worried us. And then when we found out about the FBI 2 years before at the house, or a year and a half before, that started to connect the dots with us, that he had a long time of knowledge. So we were leaning towards charging, and probably did charge at that point. The text messages came in later and just reinforced our decision.
You had an opportunity to talk to jurors afterwards.
Yes.
What did they share with you? This is an extremely quick verdict considering the length of this trial.
They were very happy with our presentation. They thought we did a good job. They had some questions about things they didn't see, evidence they weren't allowed to see. We talked to them a little bit about that. And they just kind of talked us through where the children were, where the victims were, how they were doing. And we reassured them on that front.
What was the biggest piece of evidence that you think led to this guilty verdict by the jurors?
I don't think it was one piece of evidence. I think it was the fact that it was multiple pieces of evidence over a lengthy period of time that really showed them what was happening inside that house and all the warnings that were missed. I think it's one of those things, the defense talked about a slippery slope, but it wasn't like one parent missed one warning. This was multiple warnings over a lengthy period of time. And like we said, you just had to do one thing and take that rifle away, and this would have been prevented. So I think it was all of those things together.
You did get him to concede on the stand that he was told by Cole that was Nicholas Cruz in those pictures. Do you think that was a big moment for jurors?
Absolutely. I mean, how do you allow those pictures on your child's wall and not question it further?
At what point for you should he have locked up the guns?
That calls for a lot of speculation. I would have never given my 14-year-old child a firearm like that after Jackson County coming to my house. I think most parents wouldn't have done that. I don't know if that reaches criminal at that point, but it certainly reaches common sense.
What do you recommend for sentencing?
We haven't decided that yet. We're going to talk with the victims' families. I haven't actually spoken to them at all since the verdict came out. So we're going to go talk with them, get them ready. Sentencing will be at a future time when they can all be here and speak to the judge, and we'll discuss it with them and make a decision.
What have the victims' families told you prior to this, like throughout this process? Or are there any comments that they've made that sort of stand out in your mind?
I don't think it was a common reaction. They all are reacting to their grief in different ways. They all have different perspectives, and we've listened to all of them and talked with all of them. And I don't think there's any common thing. I've just told them from the beginning that my plan was to prosecute this to the fullest extent of the law. And that's what we've done.
When you spoke to jurors, did they give any sense that they were trying to send a message?
I don't think I got that sense from them. I think they were looking at this case, these facts, and this law, and coming to a decision.
Yes, actually blamed others in this case, said D. Martin could have been to blame, said Lisa Butler. What do you say? Or the mother should have known something. How do you explain that to viewers who haven't been watching this 2-week trial?
One of the things that came to light during our investigation was that the reason so many lives were saved at Appalachia was because of lessons we learned from prior tragedies. So I am all for looking at these things. What could we have done better? What can we do in the future to make our children safer? But the blame game, these were good people trying to make their best decisions as they could with limited information. The one person that had all the information was the one that didn't act.
Did you ever actually consider charges for Marcy Gray?
Absolutely. We found what she did to be morally reprehensible. We do not believe she's a good mother, in my opinion. But at the end of the day, she did not have custody of Colt. She did not have proximity to Colt. And she was not the one that provided him the firearms.
Can you provide any update on Colt's case and where that stands at this point?
I cannot. The state stands ready to try the case at any time.
What does this verdict mean for the community here in the county?
I hope it starts the healing process. It can't, of course, complete it until we finish the whole trial, both trials. But I hope that they can start moving forward with their healing.
Were you surprised at how quick the verdict came?
If they didn't come back in 5 minutes, I start sweating. So to me, it seemed like an eternity.
What message do you hope this case sends to other parents here in Barrow County or around the country?
Well, at my college, there was a plaque on the wall that said, "Duty is the sublimest word in the English language." And we talk a lot about rights in our country. We're proud of our rights, and I'm proud of our rights. But, you know, our rights were given to us by our forefathers. But God gave us a duty to protect our children. And I hope that we remember that as parents, as community members, to protect our children, because that is our God-given duty.
Legal question. Colt has the presumption of innocence.
Yes, sir.
But how can he still have that when his father's been convicted now of crimes that he allegedly committed?
That's a question for the courts and his defense attorneys.
Can you give our audience a sense of how much work you and your team put into a case like this?
ours lives. We've had Ashley Gilliland, who testified in the trial, Amanda Dibble, Jenny, thank you, worked extremely hard on this case. It is all they've been doing for the last year, at least. The hours we put in has been tremendous, but we wanted to honor the families, the victims. We wanted to honor all the hard work that law enforcement did, and us not giving everything we had to this case would have been dishonor to them, and we weren't going to do that.
And clearly it had an emotional impact on your entire team as well as you. There were moments that we saw you, tearing up as we heard testimony from those survivors.
Well, we're all parents. We can never understand the full grief, but it touches us. And we've met these families, we've dealt with these families, we walked through with these families, and yeah, it's emotional.
There were points throughout leading up to the tragedy when law enforcement could have stepped in to interrupt the situation in some way, or have spoken up a little bit louder than they did. Do you think there are some lessons that can be learned from that for law enforcement in the county as far as how to prevent this kind of situation from happening again?
Yeah, we've been discussing that as a law enforcement community. In fact, y'all probably know that after this event happened, we got a flood of threats coming in from kids all over the world, because kids are kids, I guess. So we've had to discuss, how are we going to deal with these? How are we going to work through all of these threats where children are doing this what we would consider outrageous actions of calling in threats when they don't mean anything. So yeah, there's been a lot of discussions with law enforcement about how to deal with these sorts of things going forward.
What would you say to those that are disturbed by this verdict across the nation, who think this is a parent that is being held responsible for something that his child did? What would you tell those people?
I would say, please watch my opening. This was a trial about this defendant's actions, his choices, and his responsibility. All right. Thank y'all so much. I appreciate everything.
Thank you.
Good morning. Thank y'all for coming.
True crime just got darker. Catch the full episode on the link above. Subscribe to at Southern Sin today and hit the notification bell for more live original episodes Wednesdays at 8 p.m.